Have you ever noticed your child suddenly going quiet, right when your voice gets louder? Not crying, not reacting, just silent. It might feel like they didn't understand. But what if that silence is actually them feeling everything, just without the words to explain it? Because the truth is, children don't need to understand language to feel conflict. They understand energy, tone, tension. When parents argue, the emotional climate of the home shifts instantly. And for a child, home isn't just a place, it's their entire sense of safety. So when that safety feels unstable, even for a moment, their brain reacts. Inside a child's mind, something powerful begins to happen. Their brain enters a subtle state of alert, almost like a silent alarm going off. Something is wrong. But here's where it becomes deeply emotional. Children don't process conflict like adults. They don't think, my parents are stressed, or this will pass. Instead, their mind looks for the simplest explanation. And more often than not, that explanation becomes, did I do something wrong? That one thought, quiet, invisible, can shape how they see themselves. Some children react instantly. They may run toward you, cry, or try to interrupt the argument. It's not misbehavior. It's their way of trying to bring things back to normal, to feel safe again. Others react in a way that's far easier to miss. They withdraw. They stop talking. They become unusually still. This response is often misunderstood. Many assume the child is fine because they're not reacting. But in reality, this is what psychologists describe as an emotional freeze response. When emotions become too overwhelming, the child system shuts down, not because they're okay, but because they don't know how to cope. And the impact doesn't stop when the argument ends. Even after the room goes quiet, the child's mind doesn't. They replay the sounds, the tone, the tension in your voice. They remember how it felt. Because children are emotional recorders. They may forget words, but they never forget how something made them feel. Over time, repeated exposure to conflict can quietly shape their understanding of relationships. They may begin to associate love with stress, connection with conflict, and closeness with emotional unpredictability. This doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, moment by moment, argument by argument. And sometimes it shows up in ways parents don't immediately connect. A child who suddenly becomes more clingy. A child who struggles to sleep. A child who becomes overly sensitive or easily upset. These aren't random changes. They are emotional signals, signals that something in their environment feels uncertain. And here's something even deeper. Some children don't express distress outwardly at all. Instead, they try to adapt. They become the good child, the quiet one, the one who doesn't cause problems. Not because they're naturally that way, but because they feel the need to reduce stress around them. In their small world, they believe, if I'm easier, maybe everything will be okay. That's not maturity, that's emotional pressure. And it's happening silently. Now here's something most people don't realize. Not all arguments are harmful to children. In fact, conflict itself isn't the biggest problem. It's how that conflict is expressed, and, more importantly, how it ends. When children witness loud, unresolved, or emotionally intense arguments, their brain is left searching for closure. But when that closure never comes, the feeling stays open. And that's where anxiety begins to grow. Because uncertainty is one of the most uncomfortable emotional states for a child. They don't know if everything is okay. They don't know if the relationship is safe again. So they carry that question inside them. But imagine a different scenario. Two parents disagree, but instead of shouting, they regulate their tone. They listen, they pause, and eventually they repair the moment. Maybe it's a calm conversation, maybe it's an apology, maybe it's simply softening their voices again. When a child witnesses this, something incredible happens. They learn that conflict doesn't mean disconnection. They learn that emotions can be managed. They learn that relationships can bend without breaking. This is how emotional security is built, not by avoiding conflict, but by resolving it. And yet, one crucial moment is often missed by many parents. What happens after the argument? Because even if everything is resolved between adults, the child is still processing. Their body may still feel tense, their mind may still feel confused. That's why reconnection with the child matters so much. It doesn't need to be complicated. A gentle touch, sitting beside them, speaking in a calm, reassuring tone. Even a simple sentence can make a powerful difference. This wasn't your fault. You're safe. We're okay. These words may seem small to an adult, but to a child, they restore their entire emotional world. And here's something truly important. Even babies who cannot speak or understand language are affected by conflict. They pick up on tone, facial expressions, body tension. So, when a baby becomes fussy during an argument, it's not random. It's emotional absorption. They are feeling the stress without knowing why. Children are deeply connected to their parents' emotional state. They don't just hear you, they feel you. And that's why awareness matters. Not perfection, not never arguing, but being conscious of the emotional environment you create. Because in your child's world, your relationship is not just a part of their life, it is their understanding of life. So the next time a disagreement begins to rise, take a quiet second and ask yourself, what is my child experiencing right now? Because while adults may move on quickly, a child carries the feeling longer than you think. And in that small, quiet heart, every tone, every moment, every emotion is shaping the way they will love, trust, and feel safe in the world. If this message touched your heart in any way, stay with us on this journey. Subscribe for more moments that truly matter. And don't forget to like so this can gently reach someone who needs it today.